Are you tired of feeling those echoes of the past kind of dictating your present?
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe sense an invisible weight? Like a subtle sabotage that stems from experiences you've really tried hard to forget?
Yeah, if those questions hit home, even a little bit, you'll immediately get the struggle that Angel Gabriel tackles in this, well, really powerful new book.
Right. It's called Reclaim Your Core, Unlocking the Power of Your Body and Mind to Heal Past Trauma. Came out in 2025 from Melanat.
It's quite the title, and it delivers.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to explore the, let's call it, revolutionary path this book promises. You know, that move from chronic struggle to, well, of a profound sense of wholeness.
Exactly. We've gone through it, analyzed the key ideas, the science behind it, the what, and that emotional pull, the why.
We want you to walk away with some real understanding today. But, and this is important, the book itself contains a very specific, kind of exclusive roadmap for personal transformation.
Right, like a step-by-step guide.
So we're going deep into the knowledge, the concepts, but we won't be giving away those exact sequenced steps. That's in the book itself.
Think of this as the ultimate prep work for that journey. You'll know exactly where you're heading, why these challenges even exist, and the scientific certainty that they really can be overcome.
Yeah.
You just need the how.
Okay, let's start with the problem itself, the diagnosis, because the book reframes it right away. Gabriel's really clear.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just about, the big single event traumas.
Mm-hmm. Not just the capital T trauma.
Exactly. It's also incredibly helpful for people dealing with more pervasive kinds of injury, things like adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, or chronic emotional neglect.
Or that subtle but just relentless invalidation you might find in certain family dynamics, stuff that chips away at you.
Yeah. And it captures that feeling, that really common feeling of being guided by some kind of invisible hand.
What? Oh, absolutely. It shows up as maybe the anxiety that just grips your chest out of nowhere, or the depression that feels like a constant cloud.
Or even the pull towards habits you know aren't good for you.
Right. The book validates all these things. They're seen as these enduring echoes of the past, not some kind of character flaw you need to beat yourself up about.
And that leads straight into this core scientific idea that kind of flips the script. The struggle you feel, it's not you failing.
No, it's physiological. That's the key. It's a physiological reality rooted in essentially outdated survival programming. Your biology doing its job, but based on old information.
Okay, say more about that. The body stores this.
That's the critical insight, yes.
Right.
The body, in its innate wisdom, it stores these experiences. It creates this living archive of past hurts, past dangers.
Wow, a living archive.
Yeah. And if you don't grasp that fundamental piece, you're kind of stuck, right? You keep thinking your mind is failing you.
When really it's your biology trying to protect you.
Exactly. Trying desperately to protect you, using programs that just haven't been updated since maybe childhood or whenever that initial stress happened.
Which is a perfect lead-in to the brain stuff in Chapter 2. Your brain on trauma, a neurobiological blueprint. This connects feeling stuck or reactive directly to what's happening up there.
Yeah, and the book uses some great analogies. Think of the amygdala, that's the brain's alarm bell, its smoke detector.
Okay.
In chronic trauma or stress, the whole limbic system gets hyperactive. So that
Wow.
smoke detector, it's now stuck on hypersensitive.
Ah, so it's constantly scanning for threats, false alarms.
Constantly, even when you're objectively safe. It's just on high alert.
And as adults, we try to reason with it, don't we? I shouldn't feel this way. There's no danger here.
Right, but here's the catch. The book explains so well, while that amygdala is basically screaming fire,
Yeah.
the prefrontal cortex, the logical part, the planning center, the CEO of the brain, it's actually underactivated. It's like trying to use logic when your house is, biologically speaking, perceived to be on fire.
So you're using a low-battery rational mind to calm down a full-blast biological alarm. No wonder it feels impossible sometimes.
Precisely. That's why those feelings of being overwhelmed or super reactive or just constantly on feel so hard to control. The brain just defaults to its primal survival modes.
Fight, flight, freeze.
And fawn. The book really explores these 4 Fs in detail. It gives you a framework for spotting how they show up in adult life.
Like fawn. What's that look like?
Oh, often it's extreme people-pleasing, constantly
Yeah.
putting your own needs aside to appease others. It's an unconscious strategy learned maybe way back to keep yourself safe by keeping others happy.
That makes a lot of sense. But here's the hopeful part, right? Neuroplasticity.
Yes. That's the absolute game changer the book details. The brain is not fixed. It's not set in stone.
So you can actually change these patterns.
You can. Every time you manage to choose a new, more regulated response, instead of falling into that old reactive pattern, you're physically strengthening a new pathway in your brain, literally rewiring.
So the hyperactive amygdala can calm down. The prefrontal cortex can come back online more strongly.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
takes work, obviously, but it's possible. And the book provides the full framework for that: the analysis, the comparisons, and crucially, the implementation roadmap.
The how-to.
The how-to. It shows you how to intentionally sequence the actions you need to take to make that upgrade happen in your own brain.
It gives you the science, the validation, and then tells you safely how to actually do it.
That's the core value right there.
Okay, so we've got the brain blueprint,
Yeah.
but in the book makes a really crucial pivot, right? We have to deal with that living archive in the body.
We do. Because as the author says, the body holds an often unspoken story. It remembers even if the conscious mind doesn't.
And that's chapter 3, Somatic Wisdom for Healing.
This is where Gabriel introduces the power of bottom-up processing. It's a big shift.
Bottom up, meaning
Meaning, instead of trying to think your way out of the trauma response, which, as we just said, often doesn't work when the body's hijacked, you start with the physical sensations themselves.
you learn to listen to the body's language first.
Exactly, before trying to analyze it all away.
And you need tools for that, right? The book talks about some core somatic concepts. Can you touch on those?
Yeah.
Like interoception.
Yeah, absolutely. The book explains these really clearly. Interoception is basically your ability to sense what's happening inside your body. Noticing tension or warmth or butterflies or that subtle clench in your gut.
Which trauma often disconnects us from.
Totally. You might feel numb or just vaguely anxious without knowing where it's coming from. Then there's proprioception.
Okay, what's that?
That's your sense of where your body is in space, how you're holding yourself. Are you hunched, braced, relaxed? Regaining conscious awareness of both of these is foundational. It helps you feel safe in your own skin again.
Because the book stresses that all that energy mobilized for survival, the adrenaline, the urge to run or fight it, gets trapped, right?
Literally stuck is the idea. It shows up as chronic tension or shallow breathing or that feeling of being braced for impact all the time, like hitting the gas and the brake simultaneously. Terribly exhausting. And this is where the exclusive techniques detailed in the book are so vital. It explains these body-oriented therapeutic principles, specifically titration and pendulation.
Okay, what do those mean, briefly?
The core idea is you can't just flood the system. Titration means working with only small, manageable doses of sensation or difficult feeling at a time. Tiny sips, not big gulps.
Okay, makes sense. Slow and steady.
And pendulation is about learning to gently swing or oscillate between that little bit of discomfort and a feeling of safety or resource within yourself, like finding an anchor point.
Ah, so you're not just stuck in the bad feeling.
Exactly. It allows that stuck survival energy to discharge gradually, safely, without overwhelming you. And again, the book provides the exclusive, detailed sequence and guide for actually using these principles yourself. It's not just theory.
That sets things up nicely for chapter 5, which feels like getting to the heart of the emotional landscape. Befriending the inner child, healing generational echoes.
This is where we connect those physical patterns and brain responses to the behaviors we see in adult life.
Like self-sabotage.
Definitely. Or that intense fear of abandonment, or maybe a relentless inner critic that just won't shut up.
Those are the voices of the younger self?
Often, yes. The parts of you that never felt safe or seen or validated back then. The book gives you a really clear framework for understanding how these wounds manifest now and why it's so crucial to address them.
And the author makes a strong point about breaking cycles, doesn't she? Intergenerational trauma.
Huge point. Trauma passed down, often through silence, through unresolved pain in our families, our lineage. It's about stopping that pattern.
So how does the book guide you to do that? This sounds really deep.
It is, and it offers very specific, exclusive techniques for this internal shift. Things like guided visualization exercises, really powerful self-compassion mantras.
Mantras you can use.
Yes, specific ones provided in the text. And detailed reparenting techniques. Essentially, you learn how to become the secure, loving, internal caregiver that maybe you didn't have externally.
You learn to give that to yourself.
Exactly, creating a new internal foundation and potentially a new legacy moving forward.
Okay, wow. So then we get to chapter 6, which sounds like where the really active work happens. Tools for transformation. addressing stuck memories.
Yeah, this is where you learn to actively work with those memories that feel like they're still happening now, the ones that keep hijacking you.
How does that work? What's the principle?
The book guides you using principles drawn from how the brain naturally heals itself, something called the Adaptive Information Processing Model, or AIP.
AAP model.
Basically, the idea is your brain wants to heal. It's designed to process experiences and file them away appropriately. But trauma can kind of break that filing system.
So the distressing memory doesn't get filed under past. It stays in the current inbox.
Exactly. It's still live, emotionally speaking,
Mm.
constantly triggering you because it hasn't been integrated properly, it feels like now.
So how do you jumpstart that filing system?
Well, the book provides self-guided tools that draw inspiration from the core principles of EMDR, eye movement desensitization, and reprocessing.
EMDR. Okay, I've heard of that. It involves eye movements.
Sometimes. More broadly, it involves bilateral stimulation, which just means rhythmically engaging both sides of the brain.
Like tapping or sounds or eye movements.
Right. That rhythmic back and forth seems to help the brain process stuck emotional material. It helps move it from that live inbox to the past archives where it belongs. It connects the neuroplasticity piece with memory reprocessing.
Okay, but doing that yourself
Mm.
sounds like it needs careful guidance.
Absolutely critical.
Okay.
And that's what needs emphasizing. The book provides the specific roadmap for using these self-guided bilateral principles safely. The safety checks, the pacing instructions, how to check in with yourself.
You get the whole step-by-step process.
Yes. Essential for doing this kind of delicate internal work effectively and, crucially, safely. You get the guide to finally integrate that stuck past.
Which then allows you to move forward. That seems to be the focus of the final chapters, 7 and 8. Building the future.
Exactly. Shifting from healing the past to actively constructing a resilient future. Chapter 7, Building Resilience. Cultivating Inner Strength focuses on 3 pillars.
Which are?
Radical self-care, which is way more than bubble baths. It's deep nurturing. Robust boundaries, learning to say no and protect your energy. And building genuinely supportive relationships.
And resilience isn't about never struggling, right?
Not at all, as Gabriel defines it. It's the capacity to navigate life's complexities without collapsing back into those old trauma responses. It's about bouncing forward.
And the book gives tools for that, too.
Oh yeah, tools for emotional regulation, stress reduction, positive self-talk, really leveraging that neuroplasticity we talked about to hardwire your brain for more optimism and capability.
Okay, and then Chapter 8 seals it. Integration and connection.
This is where you apply all that hard-won awareness to your daily life, especially relationships. Establishing secure attachments, setting boundaries that actually stick.
Committing to trauma-informed living. What does that mean in practice?
It means living with an awareness of how past trauma, yours and others, can impact present interactions. It's about choosing conscious connection over reactive patterns.
So understanding how your relationship dynamics might echo the past.
And actively using the new tools, the somatic awareness, the inner child validation, the boundary skills to write a different, more secure story moving forward. It's the final implementation roadmap to make all this second nature.
So we've really mapped out this profound journey promised in Reclaim Your Core. From feeling defined by past wounds to genuinely achieving, or at least moving towards, a life of wholeness and purpose. It really drives home that the past doesn't have to dictate your future.
It really is a testament to that possibility, but we absolutely have to reiterate.
Yep.
This whole journey, we've sketched out the detailed roadmap for harnessing neuroplasticity, those specific somatic principles like titration and pendulation, the unique visualization techniques for the inner child work, the self-guided bilateral reprocessing tools, and those comprehensive guides for building resilience.
All the how-tos.
All the specific actionable how-tos are laid out step by step only within the pages of Reclaim Your Core. That's the exclusive content.
Angel Gabriel, the author, really operates at that intersection of strategic thinking and deep understanding.
Yeah, strategic innovation and philosophical inquiry is how it's put. It makes the guide published by Monad both incredibly compassionate and intensely practical. It's like a wise, structured companion.
So turning that final page might feel like the end of the climb.
But healing isn't really a destination, is it? It's more of a lifelong commitment to yourself.
A different way of being. The transformation is there, waiting. The agency is yours.
Absolutely. Which leaves maybe one final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. If your nervous system can finally learn, truly learn, that the war is over, Are you willing to commit to the ongoing work? Will you embrace the agency this book offers to consciously, actively author a truly magnificent existence?